It's a court proceeding that's much more than just losing his job.
Slowly, in my 3-year tenure, benefits started to be cut one by one.
John Wadby charges those slashed benefits included vacation time, tuition reimbursement, and 401k contributions, all at Sutherland Global Services. It's a call center with about 1,500 local workers.
If you saw an AT&T wireless commercial on TV, picked up the number, dialed the 800 number, you're talking to us.
But when the company reportedly tried to take employees' sick time too, that was the last straw.
Literally, the sick time was the last thing that they could take from us. So I guess you could say we kind of rebelled.
We're told workers rebelled by trying to unionize. And Wadby admits he wasn't quiet about his support for that effort.
I was immediately known as a very strong pro-union supporter.
And he claims he also would become known as a scapegoat too. Ultimately fired last fall. Sutherland refused our request for an on-camera interview, but their statement here to us backs up Wadby's claim about what the company told him about his termination. It's illegal for an employer to fire someone for trying to unionize, and next month Wadby will charge, among other things, just that, all in front of a federal labor relations board. Now, ultimately, the unionization effort at Sutherland failed. We'll certainly keep you posted on the results of that appearance with the labor board.
These are the steps a principal must follow to fire a bad teacher. Look at this thing.
The teachers union got so many protections to make sure principals don't fire unfairly or play favorites.
Do beautiful people have more? They make more money.
According to our estimates, beauty does really pay off for a company in terms of having good-looking executives running it. They're able to bring in more business, get more clients, etc.
Dr. Daniel Hammermesh is an economist who studies the impact of beauty on business. First, he proved that better-looking people, he studied lawyers, can earn more money for themselves. Most recently, by studying 300 Dutch advertising agencies, he has found that better-looking employees can also earn more money for their companies. So, what's the bottom line?
Am I, as an employer, going to say, I don't like this stuff, I'm going to hire ugly people? Well, if I were a stockholder in that company, I'd say get rid of the management, because their goal should be to make most money for me.
If this leaves you feeling that life is unfair, it gets worse. Researchers at Iona College in New York and at Eastern Carolina University have found that justice isn't blind at all. Their independent studies with mock jurors both indicate that the uglier the defendant, the longer the sentence, even though the crime was the same.
You see the rewards of beauty. Our hidden cameras bring you face to face with the blatant unfairness of life. In emergencies like this, you have to wait for help, but not if you're good looking.
Oh, thank you.
During job interviews with two equal candidates, guess who gets hired?
That's what people think a stockbroker looked like.
When we asked these kids to judge two teachers, looks made a difference.
Teachers who look pretty are smart.
Looks even matter in court. Our juror said this man was honest.
Just from appearance.
You'll be amazed at how people may judge you. It's not your good word or your good nature. It's your good looks. And that's the ugly truth.
You probably already knew that good-looking people get more attention. We'll show you dramatic proof that good looks can get you a lot more than that. We hired actors and used hidden cameras to show you how looks influence every aspect of our lives, from our children to our careers to our system of justice.
Michelle's an actress. We watched with a hidden camera in a van. Would a good Samaritan stop to help her? Most cars just went whizzing by. Then we asked another actress, Tracy, to try it.
Hey, yeah, I don't know what...
Wore the same outfit.
That's what I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with it.
Cars came screeching to a halt. Others backed up, pulled over, one after the other. In the short time we were out here, more than a dozen people stopped to help Tracy. 6 people ran to get Tracy gas, and her tank ended up half full. Would looks make a difference if the subject were more serious, something more important, like getting a job? Both these men are about to apply for a job. The clearest difference between them, as you may notice, the man on the right is better looking. Will that make a difference in how he's treated? More importantly, will he be more likely to get a job? Or will she, when these two women do a similar test? Our goal was to make them identical except for their looks. We sent them out in matching outfits. At this business, he told Danya things looked good.
That you're definitely in the league right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He later offered her the job. He never even called Amy back. We ran a similar test using Mike and the especially good-looking Mark. Would looks make less of a difference when the interviewers were judging men? Apparently not. On the first interview for a sales job, the interviewer told Mike he'd call him later.
So we confirm some phone numbers, so when I review all the interviews, I can make some decisions and get some...
He never called. With Mark, the interviewer was eager to have him return for a tryout day.
Is tomorrow available?
No. The same thing happened at the next interview. The interviewer told Mike he'd call him back the next week. But again, he didn't call. With the handsome Mark, the interviewer wanted him back immediately.
Given the chance, Mark, would you be available for a day like that?
Sure.
Tomorrow, okay?
Tomorrow.
This happened again and again, because this was just a real-world test of something that's already been studied more scientifically. On those tests, they show employers photos and written resumes. The results are the same. The lookers get more jobs. Those applied for were not high-visibility jobs. At this company, the interviewer was looking for a receptionist. When Amy, our ordinary-looking applicant, went in, he was very impressed with her typing skills.
50 words per minute.
That's the fastest typist I've interviewed.
In the meantime, we sent Danya in. She was a hit from the beginning. Look at his smile.
Already. I got good feedback from you already.
Her future at the company would be bright.
I promise you, if there was ever a way to promote you in this company, I will pull every string I possibly can.
Well, thank you. Sounds good.
He didn't talk to Danya about her typing skills. He just offered her the job. And how much would they pay? He told Amy the salary range was $16,000 to $18,000. But Danya, it seems, was worth the maximum. He whispers it to her.
Would you cancel the interview if I made you an offer right now?
Yes.
I'd like to offer you $18,000 a year to start.
Okay.
Thank you.
Why did you pick the one over the other? Wasn't that she was good looking?
No.
Didn't influence you at all?
No.
When we brought in our testers, he told us that he preferred Danya's voice.
Donna basically sold herself on the telephone because of her voice.
Not her good looks?
No, it was her voice and her persistence and...
But Amy must have a pretty good voice, because she even has her own radio program. Danya doesn't.
Going smooth sound with no nonsense.
I should point out that Amy has a radio show, so she must have a good voice too.
No offense to you, Amy, I'm sorry. There are people with a more soothing phone voice than others.
They assume that more attractive people have an array of valued characteristics.
Why?
Because of this sort of halo. Everything looks good, or everything must be good in this great package.
So looks make no difference here.
Of course, in our tests, looks clearly did make a difference. But whenever the employer made a choice, 5 times out of 5, Danya was chosen over Amy. Studies also show looks can do more than help you get a job. Good-looking people earn more money, 12% more, according to a study published last fall by researchers at the University of Texas and Michigan State. For every $20,000 a less attractive person made, the good-looking person averaged $22,000. And surprisingly, the difference was larger for men than for women. On our test, good looks meant more jobs for Mark, 3 times out of 3. Here, Mark and Mike went for a stockbroker job.
Hi, Michael.
Hello, Mr. Shimmery.
The more ordinary-looking Mike went in first. They told him they had no room for him right now. Try us later.
Okay, now come in. Give me a call on Monday, and I'll...
Mike was out the door in 6 minutes. Then Mark went in.
We don't have like one of our low production guys train you.
Right.
We have the best train you.
They loved Mark. He was hardly in there 5 minutes when they gave him a tour.
Hey, how you doing?
Listen to what this guy says.
Wait, it looks like a broker.
I'm hired, right?
There you go. Well, that's your call, buddy. Okay.
They told Mark he'd make a lot of money.
You should be making $10,000 a month if you want.
Wow. Oh, okay.
20 minutes after Mark walked in the door, they had him fingerprinted. They told him, come back for training on Monday.
Okay,
Thank you.
We'll train you well, and we hope you do very well.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
And you were much nicer to the good-looking guy. What did you say? He was more charming? He was more outgoing?
He had more...